Welcome back. We've got some travel to do this episode. Let's get on with it. We are not heading back to the Syreen, for we need to let time pass so that the ambush at Oregano may be executed. It'll be a bit. Oh, the quasi-portal. We're heading back to Seoul. I've got some crew to replenish. After all, for whatever mysterious reason, several of them got spaced. There was a speed bump in my brain last episode when I discovered I had emptied out both eluders. It was like, huh, that's odd. I put a pin in that, and when I was uploading the footage, I was like, wait a fucking second, 29 plus 29 is 58. I only needed 50 crew. What happened to the others? Did Whiffo eat them? Were they spaced? Was the ultimate evil involved? One thing I know for sure is that I'm going to shy away from using the page down key for crew transfer unless I'm at Starbase, which is where I'm heading now. Commander?
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I totally have minerals to offload.
Light load this time, Captain.
You know, there's a perfectly good reason for that. Analyze this.
The analysis reads as follows. Subject, sun device. Data, the unit contains a power generator whose output magnitude is simply mind-croggling. When activated, the device radiates energy equivalent to less than 1/100th of 1% of our sun. However, when placed close to a planet, perhaps in orbit, its output would rival Sol's. Summary, another precursor tool, the energy output of which can replace or augment a sun's radiance. That's the end of our scientist's report.
Mind-croggling. Goodbye.
We shall await your return, Captain.
I will not make any changes to the starship. Refuel. We're going to be spending a good amount of fuel. Yeah. 58 crew members are gone. What happened? Let's see. My notes, I'll put down 58 lost due to the Mycon and also the ultimate evil. That brings up our ongoing total to 466. Let me double check that. Yes, 466. It's not even a quarter of the Starbase's suggested population by Hayes, and as I've already said, this revisit, limitless. Recruit as many as we want. Let's refill, yeah? Alright. You know, if it was in a crucial moment, I would be bothered much more, but it was not a crucial situation for me to have those crew members. I might have even used a save editor to put them back in. We're good. Double check that I refueled. We've got the crew. Everything looks good on that front. No changes elsewhere? No changes elsewhere, right? Yeah, okay. I triple check. Then we're out of here. We're heading for Procyon. I'm gonna go visit the Shinjesu. And we take a look at our war map handout. You can see their spheres of influence here and here. We were told many episodes ago that the Shinjesu homeworld is here. So we're gonna go. Say hi. We have in our possession many tools and devices. We were informed that, well, you may recall the Melnorme's teachings. I'm not going to repeat that knowledge. You can go consult in Carta 2156. All right. But we're heading there now. It is deep within the Ilras sphere of influence, but I'm sure everything will be perfectly fine. Though I do find their vessels tedious to fight. I will say that. The whole cloaking thing. You can deal with it, but I'm like, takes effort, man. We'll head to this obviously slave-shielded planet and hit up the Starbase first. Thanks, HD Megamod, for telling us which one was slave-shielded. The music stops. I kill the sound of the message log printing out. We have explored the interior of the Starbase and found it abandoned. Computer records show the Ur-Quan put the starbase in orbit around this world after defeating the Jinjetsu and From what we can determine, the Jinjetsu and who were assigned to this base set up mindless robots to run the station, and then somehow returned to the surface of their planet, penetrating the slave shield. Further analysis of the starbase's databank showed that Jinjetsu and were exploring synthesis schemes to create a hybrid race, half Jinjetsu and half read in whichever order. The robots who run this starbase are armed and will not permit us to scavenge materials, so we are returning to the ship. Into transmission. And as we approach the planet, surprise! Hidden from our sensors and hidden from the starbase's sensors, limitless Ilrath vessels decloak. That's right. So, Earth may have been abandoned until real soon elapses, and the Ilrath are pummeling the Pakunk into extinction. They have the energy and wherewithal to deposit limitless ships around here. Maybe the Ur-Quan really stressed this one, defending this one. Yeah, perhaps the Kazurza were not quite so fooled. Let's have a chat with the limitless Ilrath.
Caught you, didn't I? We have monitored your visit to this world with great interest. Your plans for trickery are pitiful, and make Dogar and Kazon clack their mandibles against one another and snicker with amusement. And so now, squishy human, I wonder what sort of noise you will make when I pull off your arms. A high and wailing scream? Or a low moan of ultimate suffering?
Look, before you try to kill me, would you tell me a bit about yourselves? Maybe where your homeworld is located? Because I don't recall us receiving that information during this revisit. I'm sure you Ilrath would tell us. Maybe I'd have to get into a bunch of battle group encounters. Just give it to me, yeah?
Though such information is normally holy and secret, I find I am unable to contain myself. Know this fact. You are human, weak and alone in this universe, with no gods to protect you. I know this because the only true gods are our own Ilrath deities, Dogar and Kazon. Dogar is the killer in a black cloak, the great destroyer, the bloody clawed murderer, the dark beast with 1,000 young. Kazon, on the other claw, is the great deceiver, the malevolent evil in the darkness, the unstoppable monster who has no pity, the hungry lurker in the night. These are our gods, the only gods. How do we know, you ask? Because Dogar and Kazon told us so.
So that looks like a no. I didn't write it down in my notes. I do know where it is off the top of my head, but I didn't chronologue it. Perhaps the Melnorme made mention of it, or the Kunk. It might have been plugged somewhere sometime. Maybe it'll show up on our handy-dandy star map. Anyway, I can't win this fight. It's limitless. It's been swell. See ya.
So fast, tender human. You must first pay homage to the universal deities Dogar and Kazon. The payment is simple, and within your means. You will pay with your lives.
I don't find the Ilrathi voices annoying, but I do find conversations with them tedious. I probably should have done this further away. It looks like the Ilrath is having a good time. Alright, we escaped perfectly fine. We don't have to have our precursor flagship lit up. Wonder bubbles. Let's get away from here. And head for the star map. Okay, so we toggle maps. Known homeworlds? No. That's okay. Not just because I know, but because we can use our handout that I have linked in every video description of the series. The War Era Map. to see the Ilrathi original sphere of influence. It includes the Tari stars over yonder. That's 4. And then another 2 stars. Zeta Tari, actually, are they all Tari? Yeah, they are. And then this one right here at the edge, Alpha Virginis. Okay, well, why don't we start there and continue to head elsewhere? Because even if this information had been provided, and I failed to jot it down, I could consult all of my video footage, or my memory, because I do actually know where it is. But even with all that, we have a handout. And we'll just go to where the Ilrath had control of space back then, and just check places out. And in each system, we could look around for Ilrathi ships, and we can reach into our pockets and look at our casters and see whether we can get signal here. Because that's the plan. Several have told us about how you can trick the Ilrathi. Caster. Nothing. Alright, that's cool. Let's leave. Are there any interesting planets? No, Grimith, the world of the exotics. No, it'll be fine. Why don't we head for Epsilon Tari next? Just bounce along. Ooh? Is that a magma world or a ruby world? Well, first off, let's try the Pervixie's caster. No. Alright. I'm not going to cut this out. You just come along with me just for one little moment, okay? I couldn't tell at that distance. Yeah, bummer. I was like, no, that looks like a magma world, not a ruby world. That's, I'll go up there just to check. Sigh. I've already committed now. Not seeing any sapphire worlds, no emerald worlds, no diamond worlds. Diamond worlds, Grimith. Yeah, that's right. Diamond worlds. Okay, well, we're here. Warm up the caster again. No signal. We have the fuel. We can just check things out. And, if Ilrath's, battle groups want to spawn in front of me, they certainly can. Let's see, where is the center of their sphere of influence? Well, it is a war era map, Like, our information could be inaccurate. All right, let me actually go to where it is. Here we are, and here they are. And I'll prove it to you before I use the phone. Though I will make a safety save. Here, is it gonna hit November 22nd before I reach? Mercifully, the Ilrath vessels are not that quick. Happy birthday to me. Hooray! Found it.
What a pleasant surprise. Ever since the Ur-Quan made it a fellow slave species, we have missed the human. You arrived just in time for the Festival of 1,000 Screams. We welcome you with open appendages. Your participation in the ceremony is most fortuitous. As we pour your steaming parts from your breached husk, you will cry with the force that pleases the mighty deities Dogar and Kazan. Then we will address our inquiries and receive deific guidance. Glorious!
You Ilrath fascinate me. Tell me about yourselves.
Your interest is not unusual. It is through the omniscient guidance of our mighty lords of darkness that we have achieved this state of near perfection. We will dispel your ignorance concerning the first child species of the unmerciful Dogar and Kazon.
How did you get so end up like you are?
For eons, we lived appendage to mandible. Then, many millennia ago, we received the guidance of Dogar and Kazon. This enabled us to move beyond the simple existence of tranquil hunter-gatherers to become world-striding avatars of death and destruction. Over the many years, we advanced our technology, always in the name of Dogar and Kazon, always in the development of more sophisticated tools for murder. Then, the gods gave us the means to go forth and commit even more glorious acts. This was 29 years ago, when the Ur-Quan improved our starships and weapons. The war against your alliance was glorious. But alas, all good things come to an end. You lost. We honored the wishes of the soft and merciful Ur-Quan and stopped eating you humans. To continue our festive ceremonies of death, we began employing our native species for ceremony. Things seemed to be going well, until we accidentally exhausted our supply of all these life forms. We became distraught and called to our gods for guidance. Then, 8 years ago, Dogar and Kazon responded to our wails of dismay by directing us to devour feathered bird beings, the Mycon. We now penetrate deeply into their home space. When we complete our mission of genocide, we are certain that we will once again hear from Dogar and Kazon.
I want you all to reflect that the Ur-Quan, per the Ilrath here, are responsible for providing these ships and weapons. So every time you get into a fight with an Ilrath battle group and see that it's cloaked, you can thank the Ur-Quan. Thanks, Ur-Quan. Tell me about your fascinating customs and ceremonies.
Our culture is rich with meaningful tradition. During the birthright, the egg sac teems with many new potential deaths. The hatchlings fight over their first frothy draught of blood. In the ensuing frenzy, many hatchlings are consumed, either partially or in their entirety. A frequently performed ceremony of affirmation has the participant grinding away partial or even whole appendages. It is the pain that acknowledges the greatness of the twins of excruciation. How can they help but notice the scream caused by the mangled nervous tissue?
So what do you think of the Ur-Quan anyway?
Simply put, the Ur-Quan are far too kind to please Dogar and Kazon. When your species was subdued, our gods made clear their desire for immediate death by the billion. We made plans for a grand ceremony to be called Mountains of Flesh. We built thousands of portable altars and transported millions of blood gowns and fillet knives to your world. But then the Ur-Quan commanded that you humans were to be left alive. The confusion. With our plans for a magnificent and most holy planetary slaughter forcibly terminated, we retreated to our homeworld to sulk.
They most certainly did retreat as well, but don't worry. They were going to return real soon. Okay, so let me understand this. You consider yourselves evil?
Evil? Of course we're evil. Dogar and Kazon would never reward a less than hideously evil species with their baleful grace. Why, we are the very definition of evil. Everything about us, within and without, reeks of heinous deeds, deceit, and treachery. Even our house pets are rather evil.
But evil is defined as deviation from established values. If your entire society behaves evilly, then aren't you all, in fact, good?
We are all evil. We all behave in a mutually agreed upon fashion of murder, torture, deceit, and so forth. Our uniform acceptance of this heinous credo creates an orderly and cooperative society which hardly seems evil. Evil is doing things that make others hurt or fear. We all do that, of course. But since we all do such things, as sanctioned by our culture, it would be bad to do otherwise. Which means, blasphemer! Do not play with words. You anger both Dogar and Kazon. Now you must die!
Oh, man, come on. There's so many other dialogue options to get to there at the home world. Man. Oh, that, it happens. So there's more fun interactions you're going to have with the Ilraf and their battle groups playing around, but look, man, we're gonna keep the series moving along. Besides, defeating them in combat just isn't worth that many resource units. See if I can get away now. Goodbye. And of course, I wouldn't want to get into fights here at the home world because, well, there's infinite amounts of them. Is there anyone else who's going to come to get me? Do I want to go do this again? Looks at video length. What else am I going to do this episode? How long do I want it to go? I mean, this is the Ilrath episode. Fine, but we're going to make another safety save. As a treat, go back to the homeworld. You're welcome, or I'm not sorry if this upsets you. You can speed these things up, I can't.
I see that you have come to your senses and are now prepared to engage in the Festival of 1,000 Screams. Although your initial rejection of the honor was dismaying, we realize that it may have been a shock to be so privileged. Pinch yourself, human. You are not dreaming. Dogar has winked, and Kazon has spasmed in condescending approval. Today, human, is your lucky day.
I've certainly given many things in my life condescending approval. I'm glad I could receive it in return. Your gods fascinate us. Can you reveal their true nature?
There is so much to tell, so many different aspects. These deities permeate the fabric of the universe. Since all things eventually succumb to death, all things meet Dogar and Kazon.
When did you begin your devout ways?
Human, you do not understand. It is as it has always been. When the hatchlings struggle from the egg sac, they show their respect to the twin gods of death during their first frenzied gorging. From that moment on, the directives and philosophies of Dogar and Kazon are manifested by the hatchling.
How do you pray, and how do Dogar and Kazon answer?
The deific duo broadcast on Channel 44. Their words of wisdom are available to all, and their instructions are carried out to the best of our mortal ability. We know that we are pleasing the gods because they no longer find it necessary to guide us. In the past, the Dark Twins were compelled to direct us almost daily, but now have received no direction for almost 8 years. Indeed, We diligently monitor the channel should Dogar and Kazan choose to be heard.
That can be a pretty firm clue. If you haven't received all the other previously available clues, if not direct guidance on this matter in the game, why do your gods broadcast on Channel 44?
They do it for us. First, they clear the channel of messy static and interference. Second, it made it easy for us to properly identify what might be mistaken for mad rambling as the sacred words. You see, Dogar possesses 44 eyes that see into the 44 planes of existence, and each of Kazan's 44 sub-tongues is made up of 44 plump, writhing cilia. Besides, they knew we were Captain Satellite viewers.
Plump, writhing cilia. Turgid. Tumescent. I don't want to offend, but did you ever have any good gods? Yeah, I don't want to offend, wink.
During the Dark Ages, we were confused by the many gods. There were dozens of deities ranging from Zith of the Pelt to Orc of the Seds. It was only through the careful formation of a priestly ruling body that the Irath were able to determine the true gods, Dogar and Kazan. This new priestly cabal revealed that we must discard all other gods, be they of hearth or flowing web. Only the priests were capable of interpreting the will of the gods. Their order refined our worship until we could do no better. All heretics were to be eaten, and all possessions were to be delivered to the holy sites or the priestly dwellings.
I grow wary of Dogar and Kazan. Let's discuss something else.
Your pitiful investigations have barely scratched the surface of what is to be learned about Dogar and Kazan. And remember, you may never get another chance to ask such questions.
Indeed. Let us unite against our common threat, the dreaded Ur-Quan.
Silly Earthling. The Ur-Quan, our masters, would be displeased if they were aware of your transgressions. By violating your oath of fealty to the Ur-Quan, we are obligated to take your lives as payment. A process that will incidentally please both myself and, more importantly, the arch-deific duo.
Okay. A little concerned about running into a planet when I scoot away like that, but I don't want to get lit up by the flamethrower. I think we've had our fill, yeah? We've had our fill? We've had our fill. Ahem. Well, we'll use the Umga one for luck. It's what they're accustomed to. Turn this to channel 44.
Listen! It is the hideous and inspiring voices of our gods, Dogar and Kazan. Oh, great gods of evil and darkness. What can your humble and devious servants do for you?
Worship us!
Worship us.
Yeah. We'll dust off that voice. It's been a while since I used that one.
Worship us.
From the chambers of pain, we hear your words, cruel and evil lords of darkness. And as your voice crackles out of the speaker boxes, it sends thrills across our carapaces. Our hairy quills all stand erect, and we pant and wheeze with holy fever. Oh, mighty gods, you are the definition of all that is evil and hideous in this universe. You are the inspiration for all cruelty, deception, and pain. For this, we thank you.
We require that you do things a bit differently.
Your will is our inspiration. What shall we do?
From this day forward, say worship instead of worship.
As you wish, glorious, unmerciful destructors. In all future worship, we will honor you in this way.
From this day forward, say dwee instead of we.
Yes, great Dogar. Yes, mighty Kazon. We certainly will. We certainly will.
From this day forward, say Yubu instead of you.
It shall be so, great ones. Yubu are mighty. Yubu are the most hideous and deceitful. We Ilrath are too fortunate to have Yubu to worship.
You are no longer the Ilrath. You are now the Dill Rats.
We, the Dill Rats, bow and scrape off our appendages in your honor, mighty Dogar and Kazon.
You are sufficiently graced. Go and kill gruesomely in our names.
We can never receive sufficient direction from you, great masters. We eagerly await your next vile commandments.
Heed these words, our evil children. Leave this place. Seek, you pray.
Oh, mighty Dogar. Oh, mighty Kazon. Your devoted servants hear your words and obey your divine and cruel insights. The Pakunk are unfit for our sacramental tortures. We relish the prospect of killing worthy prey. We will leave immediately so that we can begin our glorious evil devotions. But who shall we prey upon next? Who shall suffer our inspired torment? Didn't those loathsome Umga once mention a race near their region of space? Yes, I have it. The Thradash. We will go now and kill all of them.
You're not actually following my commands for what you were meant to do. It is not we, it is we. We return now to the fetid darkness. Obey our commands.
Farewell, Dogar and Kazon. We are awed by your malevolent presence, and swear unto you to commit even more violent, treacherous deeds tomorrow than we did today.
And you better actually follow my commands, or else. Our commands. Dwee's commands.
Hey, buds.
Begone, humans. We would very much like to tear off all your digits, and be entertained fitting them into your orifices. But we are on an evil jihad, and cannot be bothered killing you at this time. Perhaps later.
Yep, you actually have to start an attack if you want to start the attack. The Ilrath are now busy. Incidentally, this has started a clock. As the Ilrath are going to be heading upward. We have not yet the Thradash in this playthrough, and, you know, if I want that to happen, this playthrough, maybe I need to get crack-a-lackin', yeah? We got time. We don't have any more time in this episode. I am out. Take care, and make sure you obey the commandments
Of Dogar and Kazon. Worship.